Peace, family. I'm back with part 3 of the Two of Pentacles. So we talked about saving, right? But in this third part, we finna talk about salvation. Because when you're in the double world, there's this concept of sin. And we need to talk about it. Okay. So from the way that I see it, there's actually a couple of sins in the double world. The first sin in the double world is to send, S-E-N-D, yourself into the current to save someone else. Thou shalt not send thyself into the current to save someone else, because this requires you to leave the shore where you're certain of where you are and who you are, waiting for things to come into you on the right wave. And other people have the ability to do the same, and the way that you help them do the same is by continuing to build your light and illuminate them at the fact that they can do the same damn thing that you're doing. So it would be to send yourself would be counterproductive to your purpose and their purpose, because it would be affirming the illusion that they're under. So what you want to do is shine a light on their face and wake them up, but not go and sleep next to them by entering the current, okay? When you enter the current, like I said, that cuts off your life, because that's the opposite of your work. So, but the thing about being in the current reality where you find yourself needing something, or someone else finds themselves needing something, and feeling like they're in over their head and they need salvation, they can do exactly what we did. And this is the reason why you're not supposed to send yourself, is because remember in the Four of Wands, when we felt like other people were getting assistance and we were not getting assistance, or we felt like we were getting assistance and maybe other people in our life felt like they weren't because of us, and there was this need to make it right, balance things out. And so we had that little prayer at the end of the post, and it said, send me a sign, that somebody gives a shit. And then it was, send me a sign. In other words, send me where you need me to go, and give me an assignment, right? And then that's when we ended up very shortly thereafter at the Three of Pentacles, where we realized that we had been assigned to help ourselves, by lighting ourselves, by liking ourselves, by respecting ourselves, and in that way solutions would appear to us. I think it was also in the Nine of Pentacles, which was just kind of like take care of things, use our ideas to take care of the things we need to take care of right here in our own life, and empowering ourselves. But there was just a lot of empowerment after that, right? So what you can do is help someone understand that they would have to ask, in the current, when you have a problem and you're in it, not observer building your life, but you're in it. A lot of the way to help yourself immediately get out of that state is to follow that prayer, send me a sign. And then you will find yourself not only helping yourself, but you'll find yourself helping someone else, because you'll shift from asking, what do I need, to what can I offer? And if you offer, that means you have it. And if you have it, you're getting back to reality. You're remembering who you are. You're remembering where you are. You're remembering that you lack nothing. And so that's just a small step. So if you are outside of a situation looking in, and somebody's like waving and drowning and they're in over their head and they're like, help me, you don't send yourself to that person. The only way that you would be sent to that person is if you looked next to you and that person was there. That's how you know God sent you to that person. But you are not supposed to go in, send yourself. You're not supposed to do that. Because then you're short-circuiting the process by which that person could be illuminated, and therefore turn on their light and then illuminate others. It's like a domino effect. People inspire each other. So if that person, if you were to tell them, okay, well, say like in a very practical example, right? Somebody calls you and it's like, I need $100 right now. You could be like, well, maybe I don't have that for you right now. However, what I would suggest that you do is go find someone that you can give $1 to, or that you can give $10 to, or whatever it is, but just go find somebody who's in more need than you are and fulfill their need freely, not mutually, not put them in debt, but freely fulfill their need as a gift to remind yourself that you are abundant and that you have everything that you require and that you have gifts that you can give. And this may not even be financial. This could be your time or your talent, some sort of service, but it's just something that brings you back to reality. So that's the assistance that you could offer somebody, as opposed to affirming that current with them. You can't affirm a current. It's the current. You can't affirm that. So all you can do is stay sure, certain in your own reality where you are firm, and offer that light, that illumination, that information, that knowledge to that person. And then that keeps you from sending yourself. Okay? The second type of sin would be to desire to ascend. Okay? So we have to remember where we are. We are below and above. We're beloved. So we're stuck. But we have lots of freedom in that stuckness, in this realm. But that is where we are. And so part of our purpose is to remain in reality, terra firma, remain in the understanding of where we are. And so when you start to desire to go beyond that, I'm bored with this mundane reality and these mundane situations, and you feel like you want to be above it. Well, that's a delusion, right? Because you can't be above it. You're always below it and above it. We're love. That's where we are. That's what we do while we're here, is we build a life that we like. We can't really get above that or beyond that. So when you become bored with that, as opposed to finding something, as opposed to changing in respect to yourself, remember, to change just means you go find something else that you like. Change yourself, and then you will like something else. You remember, we're supposed to keep rotating that light, switching it up, right? Like a prism. But when you start to feel like your prism is a prison and you're stuck and you're bored and you want to go beyond it and you want to ascend, that's a delusion, right? So the only way really the only where to go, the only place to move, it would be if you get, tired of standing there, being loved, building your light, and you decide you want to move before you get moved, because we get moved. We don't move ourselves. But if you decide you want to move, the only place, and now you're in a delusion, the only place to go would be against the current. It's the only place to go, is to enter the current, enter the dream, enter the mass delusion, because you've already entered a little bit just by desiring to go beyond where you are. You want to go beyond reality, right? So then you go into the current, you get into some shit, you get into some drama, you get into the play of life, which is cool, right? It is what it is. But when you go into the current, you're swimming. Thou shalt not swim, right? So when you swim, it's like the more skilled you are at swimming, the further you go your ass out there, so where there's no more sand beneath your feet, there's no more land beneath your feet, right? And so then you're in over your head, and either you have to keep swimming and you get very tired. Now you're in the tide, you're stuck in the tide. It's tired because you did too much, okay? You wanted a change. Well, here it is. And it just puts you in a position where you need to be saved, which is, again, a deeper part of the delusion. So you have to remember that you are safe, that you're not over your head, that you are saved, you are safe. You remember where you are, you pull yourself out of that dream, and then by reminding yourself of reality and affirming that, then you would find yourself back on the shore where you are certain, and then you are able to pull yourself out of that situation, or from that situation, build something. You start being able to do your work, which is building a life that you like, which is remembering that you can't ascend, you can't get beyond this. So then what you would do is you just create another dragon that you have to slay, right? Because you want to get beyond it. So yeah, don't swim, don't send yourself, and don't swim. Because the only way to go with reality, to go with the current, is to surrender, is to allow yourself, swimming is just like a skilled struggle with the water, because you want to go, you're going against it. So the way to get out of that too, even mentally, is just to kind of let go, stop swimming, and recognize that you can float and go with the flow, and allow the current to push you back towards shore, to push you back towards a place where you feel more stable. And if you just kind of give up and go with the flow, you'll notice that you always end up, and this goes back to that Ace of Wands card, where we're being led out of the that evil tower. We shall fear no evil. We shall fear no backward, because the word evil is EVIL. It's the word live, LIVE. It's backwards. So it's not so much that it's wrong, it's just that it's left. It's like you're reading it to the left and it feels evil because it's bizarro world. So we get afraid and we feel like we're drowning. We feel like we can't breathe. We feel like we need help now. We need rescue now. And it's like, no, we're not wrong. We just went left, right? And you can always go the right way. You shall not fear stopping to struggle and just allowing reality to get to push you back, the current to push you back the right way. And then you'll find yourself coming back towards yourself in the right way, on the right wave, back to where it's calm, it's firm, it's reality, and you can get back to building your light. Okay? So that was the second one. Yeah, don't swim. Okay. Yeah. And then this is the third one, because I keep correcting myself on this one. There really is no wrong. There's the right way and then there's the left way. But since it's all a big O, the all, if you go left, you still end up right. And if you go right, if you're not careful, you still end up left. But there's no judgment. We've all been right and we've all been left. It's a freaking circle. So to say wrong, once again, is affirming a delusion in which there is a separation. There's a wrong way and a right way. There's not. There's no judgment. It's choice, right? And I say this to say too, to call something wrong is in itself a judgment. And then if we get into that language, because language does create our reality, a judgment requires a sentence, right? Which is sent in. So now we in it again. Now we done sent ourselves again to judge somebody else. We swimming in the current. We're going against the current. It's just all, we ain't supposed to send ourselves. We ain't supposed to assign ourselves. We ain't supposed to send us. We're not supposed to ascend ourselves. We supposed to get promoted. You can't just walk up to the Most High and say, I'm going higher now. You gotta be like, oh, are you? Okay, well, let me show you something. Okay, we can't do none of that shit. We can be love right where we at. Okay. Let me see if there's anything else I want to say. Oh, I just want to say, finally, we have to remember that the Two of Pentacles is the Wheel of Fortune in Capricorn, because it's Jupiter in Capricorn. And the Wheel of Fortune is a good thing. I know we talked all about the double because we need to understand what it is and when it comes. But the other thing we have to understand is why it's coming. The double is a projection of what is ours, what really belongs to us. It's a projection of reality. We experience the double, and then we experience the real. So if it's the opposite, it's like if you're, whatever condition that you're experiencing inside the illusion that makes you feel like you're in need, you're in lack, you're in want, you're in all these negative places, just remember that that was the first ship. That's the projection. But everything that is the opposite of that projection is coming in the tide, just behind it, the right way. So actually, every single time you see a double, every time you feel yourself needing something, wanting something, longing for something, and something appears instantly to exchange with you in order to give you that thing, that's low-key your signal that what you really want is coming if you just be the fuck patient, mind your business, do your work, keep doing the life that you like, building the life that you like, and learn how to say no to the double. Because that gets that shit out the way, and then what's really yours, what's really for you, your reality that you affirm that is coming to meet you because you called it forth, it's coming right behind the projection. This is no judgment of the double. This is science. This is how light works. We're light. This is how light works. If there's a light, there's going to either be the real thing that's casting the light, or there's the source of the light, or there's going to be a shadow, or there's going to be a projection, depending on, circumstances or whatever. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a physicist. But my point is it's not the projection. The double is not evil. It's just backwards. It just in juxtaposition of where we are in be love in this realm of reality, we see shit backwards. And that's even true of your actual eyes. Like, do you know that your eyes in your head see things upside down and your brain flips the image right side up for you? I don't know why we're made like that. It has something to do. I mean, I guess if you think about it, that's the hangman card, right? He finally understands that he's seeing things upside down, and this helps him to recognize things right side up. We never really see shit right side up, but we can discern. That's why we need discernment. Because we don't see it, but we can discern it. We can figure it out. Oh, okay. This is the signs of the double. This is the projection, which means rejoice, because the real thing is coming right behind it. That's why patience is a virtue, because it gets you what's coming to you. It just makes sure that you remain sure that you don't that you don't get in the current trying to go get it yourself, that you don't get in the current trying to save anybody, because that's entering the delusion, that you don't get on any crazy ass ships that carry you away to somewhere where you don't know, and now you work for them on their ship. Now you got to get off and jump in the water and hit rock bottom and become sure of something and sure of yourself and gain the confidence. Like, don't nobody have time to go through My point is, we've already done that. We've all already done that. It's time to do a new thing, because we are new babies. We just came out of this canal. We fresh and we clean, and our booties are powdered. And we just needed to understand the difference between the doubles and the reals, and salvation and all that stuff. And now we get it, and now we good. Okay? So y'all should really feel good. Like, whatever illusions come at you, just know there's so much goodness right behind it, because of, like, I'm in a public place, so I don't want to shout, but like, just because of all the work that we have done, that you have done, there's so much good shit coming. So whatever appears, honey, we all know how to see illusions now. We'll be fine. All right. I will talk to y'all later in the next card. Peace. Wait, let me just make sure before I cut it off that I really said everything I gotta say, so I ain't gotta turn it back on and be like, oh, this is so funny. Yeah, I do want to say one more thing. Just one more thing. You know how the Bible says the wages of sin is death? But listen to this. Wade in to swim equals depth. So it's like, it's common sense. It's not so scary, like, if you sin, you will die. It's just like, if you go in there, you're gonna get deeper. The current is deep. It gets deep. And remember, that was what we learned in the Ace of Cups, that the source was right there near the front of the card, the source of the water, and you just wanted to stay right there and just kind of wade, right? So that you can see where you're going, see where you're putting your feet, and remain firm and not get out there all deep and shit. So yeah, I feel like it's just like one step at a time, lightly, tread lightly. Yeah. All right, y'all. Peace.